Welcome back. We will introduce you to Python as a part of this lecture. By the way, what is Python? Python is an interpreted high level general purpose programming language. Remember, interpreted high level and general purpose programming language. It is designed for ease of use with more focus on readability of codes. Somewhere in 1990, Guido van Rossum, who is a Dutch programmer, he is the one who created the Python programming language. Then, somewhere in 1994, we got the Python 1.0. Post that, somewhere in 2000 or so, we got Python 2.0. Now, somewhere around 2008, we got the Python 3.0. As of now, in the current 2021, we have 3.9.1 latest version of the Python which is being used. What are the features of the Python? Python, which is almost similar to the English language. There is a reason we say that, because if you look at the other languages like Java or C or C++, they're very syntactical, and means if you just miss a semicolon, the program or the code wouldn't run. But in case of Python, there are a lot of similarities from the English language, and also obviously any programming language has a mathematics influence. The Python also has an influence from the mathematics. As we already indicated, Python uses new lines to complete a command as compared to the other programming languages like C and C++ or other languages which use semicolons or parentheses to complete the command. That makes the Python more user friendly. If you look at the other programming languages, they use curly braces to complete the scope of the code. Like the scope of the code can be a function, it can be a loop, but Python makes it simple. It relies on indentation. So you got to be really particular about the indentation, because Python is deciding the scope by indentation using the white space. So you got to be really careful with indentation. Let us look at what Python can do. Python can be used on server to create the web applications. As you know, there are programming languages specific to create the web applications. Python can also be used for creating the web applications. And Python can be used alongside any other software to create the workflows. As you know, there are different workflows as a part of the retail or a banking software or any of the other domains. Wherever the workflows are involved, Python can be used to create the workflows. The next thing is Python can be used for data science and machine learning as well, which is one of the very important technologies as a part of this whole 21st century. Then the Python can also be used for automation of the routine tasks. It may be testing or any tasks which are being done repeatedly. The same tasks which are done repeatedly, we can automate all those tasks by using the Python. We can also connect to database systems by using Python. It can read and modify the data within the database systems. Finally, since we are in a big data course, Python can also handle the big data and perform complex mathematical computations. Wonderful. Python can be used to create the web applications. It can be used to create the workflows, automate the routine tasks. Python is ubiquitous. When I say ubiquitous, it is there everywhere. So why do we need Python? Why do we need to prefer Python over any other programming language? That is because in addition to whatever we have discussed so far, Python can work on different platforms like Windows, Macintosh, Linux, even including the Raspberry Pi. Python syntax allows developers to write the programs with the fewer lines as compared to the other programming languages like C, C++, or Java. So it is easy to understand, it is easy to write, and also we can accomplish more by writing the few lines of codes. One of the aspects which we already discussed as a part of previous lecture is Python runs on an interpreter system. What it means is, as and when you are writing code, the code is being executed. That means we need not compile the program before we execute it. As and when you are writing, it is being executed. And one more last important aspect of the Python before we conclude on the introduction part, Python can be treated in a procedural way. It can be treated in an object oriented way or even a functional way. It's a kind of a combination of multiple things. So that makes the user to leverage the capabilities of the Python in the way he or she wants. Wonderful. We understood Python at a very high level.